Hey everybody, this is Grace. In this video, I want to talk about something, and I had already mentioned it at the end of the video, that I wanted to talk about this topic. It was basically 3 things that happened in the past 5 days. Well, guess what? It just happened for the 4th time, this time by myself. And my life does tend to go in themes, okay? And some people would say, well, it's just because you're noticing it. It's kind of like, you buy a new car and you see the same one on the road all the time after that and you never had before. It's the same color, something like that. But no, it's not that. This time, my life has always been like that. It's like, some people say bad luck comes in 3s. I don't really agree with that. But, hey, this time it was 3 things happened in 5 days, but it just now happened again. And that is when when the right thing to do is to not reward bad behavior, okay? And I just had a situation. I should have just walked out. I should have just walked out and not have paid for it. But the person that was doing the wrong thing wasn't there at the time. So I got to call their corporate office tomorrow to talk about this one, and I will, because I'm learning. I mean, I'm not learning. I've learned this a long time ago, that nothing gets resolved if nobody makes waves. I mean, nobody says anything about it. Nobody does anything about it. The behavior just continues. Unless somebody speaks up. Now, we all know I can't give that advice because everybody's situation is different and that people can be dangerous. So you got to take the consequences of your own actions or inactions. But as a sociologist, this is what I say. This is how I see it. For me, I can't just let something go that is wrong. There might be exceptions to that rule, but yeah. So anyway, the 3 things. The first thing was, I would want to kind of change it up and say, it was an employee, but I don't own a business, so it was our maid. Our maid just did not show up. Okay, this would have been her, I think, 4th time. And she comes about once a month. Just depends on when we can do it. When we can, okay? And she is paid very well from us, and she's there for, several hours. She's making a good wage, okay? And she just didn't show up. And I think that was, Tuesday. Now, I don't think she contacted me. It was either, she was supposed to be there Tuesday morning. I think it was late, Wednesday evening or Thursday. She sent a text saying that she forgot. Okay, and I always kind of felt a little bit something wasn't right with her, but as in she was seemed a little judgmental. Okay, she's a young woman, but anyway, so whenever she just didn't show up, didn't call, didn't anything for that whole day, first part of that day when she was supposed to be there at 9, not long after that I said, well, she lost her job because she obviously, unless there was some kind of an emergency, something that would be understandable, that she would be late or would have to come up another day, yeah. But no, she lost her job at that point. It didn't need to happen that she sent a text saying that she forgot and then told me what day she would be able to do it. No. It wasn't up for discussion. She was saying this the next day, the next week. No. I mean, she'd already lost her job because she didn't bother to text her anything. So, that's not rewarding bad behavior. I sent her a text. I thought about, I really didn't have to think about it. But I sent a text a couple of days later and said, no, thank you. No. Just no. It was a little more, but no. It's the whole response kind of thing. The whole meaning, that is. And I just thought that was rather arrogant. When you're an employee, you don't tell your employer when you're going to come to work. I mean, they might where you live, but not where I live. So then that was the first one. The next one was we went to a restaurant. We'd gone to many times in the past, but we knew that it had been bought out by a new, it has a new owner. And when the last time we actually went there, they had, the old staff seemed to still be there. But then we ordered something to pick up, and it didn't seem right. And then this next time, which was Friday, we went there to eat. We wound up there, and it was bad. They had changed the interior some of the restaurant, and there was only one other, two diners there. It was a couple, probably a little older, sitting at one table. And basically, when we ordered the meal, they had taken the old, what is it called? The old menu, and had crossed out some of the prices, raising them, and wrote in how much it was. You know, like the one that we ordered was $1 more. So we could see the old price, and they marked through it and put the $1 more price. Well, when we got it, they had left out most of what comes along with it. You know, like, it had 2 strips of something, you know, a meat. It's not just meat, it's a mixture, 2 strips, and then some rice. And it also would have tomatoes and onions and like a salad and all this. And then there's the other stuff that comes, like you get a tea or a coffee, whatever comes with it. No, they were so very, oh my goodness, cheap. That they only brought out a little bit of the rice. You know, the plate had less rice, and the meat looked like they had taken one piece, divided it up to make 2 pieces. You see what I'm saying? You know, instead of having 2 separate pieces, it looked like they divided one up to make 2 pieces. Unbelievable. Really, just unbelievable. And they didn't have any tomatoes or onions or salad at all. And Adam had gotten some tea, and they didn't even give him anything to go with the tea, you know, or ask. It was just, you know, finally the guy brought it out, and then the guy blamed all of this on that they were too busy. There was only one couple in there, okay, and they were too busy, and nobody was coming in to pick up anything, or no, they were just real cheap. And so Adam just didn't give him a tip. And I said, really? Because I've never seen Adam not give a tip. And so it was just that fact that I've never seen him not give a tip that struck me. He says, of course I'm not going to give him a tip. This was lousy. And it was true. You know, it was pretty lousy. And it didn't taste right. It was like covered with salt, you know, too much sodium. Yeah, and then, like I said, half of the rice and the rest of the stuff. He had to ask for tomatoes, and, you know, and they just, yeah, it was bad. Friday dinner around 7 or so, and the next morning we went to the vet, to get Marmaduke the rest of his shots and have his nails clipped and stuff. And Adam had Marmaduke before I moved back. So all together, Adam started going there with Marmaduke and the other one, Gus, back 12, 13 years, maybe more. And he spent quite a bit of money there, thousands of dollars over all these years. Yeah, and, you know, Gus, I called him Grumbling Gus the dog, he died last year in the summer, and we had all that going on. He had cancer, you know, the dog. And this dog has problems. So we've spent a lot of money there. So they have a walk-in that you walk in on Saturday. Well, we were 15 minutes late for the walk-in. Now, that's not an appointment. It's just a walk-in. 15 minutes late. So it was up till 10:15. We were there at 10:15, and a new one, we've never seen this one before. She said she was young, and she told us that they stopped taking people, you know, the dogs in or animals in at 10 o'clock. Okay, it's 15 minutes. And I said, well, it's really tough for us to get this dog here. And she said, well, I can schedule you for next week. She had a smirk on her face as she was turning us down. Didn't give us a reason, nothing. Just said, no, I can't do it. Real big smirk, and she was smiling, grinning like, oh, she was loving it. You know, a little power for some people. You give them a little bit of power, and yeah. Well, anyway, I was angry. I mean, thousands of dollars spent there. And I would say that for anybody, even if it was a second time to go there. You just don't smirk happily when you're turning people down. Yeah, that's poor service. I hope that part of it actually did work, that clip. But anyway, yeah, it was poor service at the vet. And, you know, really snide. what do you call it at a vet? Front desk clerk or something? So we had to leave, and it's really tough for us to get the dog there. Seriously, it's tough because once the dog gets out, he has some health problems. It's real, he's a big dog, and so it's real hard for us to get him out, and he still gets hurt by us trying to. We can't pick him up ourselves, in other words, and so he comes down and it hurts him. She didn't care, so we were both pretty upset, and I called and told her I want to speak to her manager. And she said, and of course they always say, whenever somebody's done something wrong, their manager is always in some kind of meeting or something like that. Or is unavailable, they're at lunch, whatever it is, they're never there. I've known that for many, many years. So anyway, so I told her, I said, I want you to tell the doctor the name of the dog, our names, and she said, well, what's your phone number? I'll tell her. I said, and here's the phone number, you have it, and that she's lost a customer. I mean, thousands of dollars, okay? I didn't say that thousands of dollars, but yeah, because of 15 minutes, yeah. We were 15 minutes late. So anyway, I know it sounds like I'm entitled. Oh, no. This woman I got some more stories about this. But the rudeness of this young woman was what got to me. And there was also a feeling that she felt secure and that she could be rude because for some reason I felt like she was a family member to the vet. The vet is a woman also. Just seemed like she was a family member, so she had that no need to be nice kind of attitude. Not everybody does that, but you know what I mean. The people who do think like that, well, she's not going to fire me because I'm her, whatever relation. So anyway, she just gave off that thing because, like I said, I called back and her whole attitude was so, it's as though I could actually see her still smirking. Okay. And I was livid by this time, and so was Adam, and he was trying to say, I don't want to talk about it, it's going to stress me out too much. After we left, we went and looked for another one around there because he thought he knew a vet around there, but it wasn't open. So anyway, we wanted to get that done because it's so hard to get Marmaduke back out. Like I said, to get him in the car and out of the car, the back of the SUV, it's a lot of problems. But we didn't find one, and then I came home, we have to go next week, next weekend, this week, to get, all the shots and everything. But anyway, the vet did call us, not call back, she called. Her phone was making so much noise. She was driving, it was cutting in and out. I couldn't understand, it was all garbled, what she said. It was unavailable, the phone number. Well, anyway, I figured out who she was, even though I couldn't really understand her, and I told her, I said, look, I can't understand what you're saying. Okay, and so then I started to hear what she talks really fast, and I started to hear it, and I said, you might as well stop, because we decided we're taking the dog to another vet. And she kept talking, but what she was doing was she was not actually taking up for the young woman, but she was taking all the responsibility on herself to an exaggerated degree. Okay, which again kind of confirmed to me that this must be someone that she is trying to be loyal to. Even though I told her, I said, well, that's okay. I'm not upset with you. I understand what your situation was. I said, but she was rude. Okay, now see, that's right. She was rude, and not the vet, but the clerk. And the vet wasn't listening, didn't want to hear that. And that bothered me. The vet has been kind of rude to me, but that's a whole long story before. But yeah, okay, she wasn't wanting to see that she has a problem with that young woman at all. She was just taking all the responsibility onto herself. So that was another one, that we don't reward bad behavior. The vet herself wasn't listening, that she could have said something like, well, yes, I'll teach her that she needs to give a reason why, or she needs to check with us or something, check with me, whatever she needed to do. But she wasn't even, she wasn't going to correct the young woman for being rude. So anyway, these were 3 situations that we had to not reward bad behavior. Okay, seriously. And in all these years that Adam and I have known one another, we really don't have that coming up much. I wasn't able to finish this because my camera kept getting hot. Even cooled it down one time to do some of it, but anyway, and I wanted to do this video in a much calmer tone, but yeah, then a fourth one happened. I'll leave that one out. But I was by myself, but what I was basically saying was I've never had a situation when my theme that goes in my life, a theme, they're always different, when it happened like that, usually I would be by myself, always. And this time, Adam was with me for those 3 and 5 days. So now for me, it's 4 and 6 days. But anyway, have you ever had this kind of thing happen to you? Leave a comment below if you want to share. And I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. If you want to subscribe to this channel, click the circle. If you want to watch another video on this channel, click on the rectangles. Like, subscribe, comment, and share on your own social media if you would. And I'll talk to you on another video. Bye.